Since 1910, drivers and cyclists have reported suffering unusual accidents along a road near Postbridge in Dartmoor, Devon, southwest England. In many cases, the victims reported that their vehicle had jolted or swerved violently and steered off the side of the road, as if something unseen had taken hold of the wheels and wrenched it out of their control. Many witnesses who experienced this shocking event reported seeing hands that were described as hairy grab their steering wheel or handlebars of their vehicle shortly before losing control. Is this just a case of bad driving, or is there something more unexplainable going on? According to the stories surrounding them, the hairy hands are a pair of disembodied hands that appear suddenly, grab at the steering wheel of a moving car or the handlebars of a motorcycle, and then force the victim off the road. In some cases, the hands are described as being invisible. In most instances, the victims ran into a verge and survived. Their experiences, however, would remain a local curiosity, until that is, on June 1921, when E.H. Helby, a medical officer for Dartmoor prison, was killed when he lost control of his motorcycle. His two young girls who had been riding in the sidecar though survived. The girls didn't report seeing hands, but that Helby had shouted at them to get to safety as he was fighting against an invisible force in his efforts to control the bike. Several weeks after Helby's death, there was another incident in which a coach driver lost control, injuring several passengers who were thrown out of their seats. On the 26th of August 1921, an army captain reported travelling through the area that a pair of invisible hands had taken hold of him and forced his motorcycle off the road. The captain stated, "It was not my fault, believe it or not. Something drove me off the road. A pair of hairy hands closed over mine. I felt them as plainly as ever I felt anything in my life. Large, muscular, hairy hands. I fought them for all I was worth, but they were too strong for me. They forced the machine into the turf at the edge of the road, and I knew no more till I came to myself, lying a few feet away with my face on the ground." It was this incident that the story was picked up by newspapers in London, and the story became known nationwide. A journalist named Rufus Endell was excited to cover the story of this strange phenomenon, and inadvertently fell victim to it himself. He stated that, while driving near Postbridge, a pair of hands had gripped the driving wheel, and he had had to fight for control. He managed to avoid a crash, and the hands disappeared as inexplicably as they had come. This incident, though, was not covered in his initial story until many years later, as he requested it to not be published until after his death, for fear he may be ridiculed. Not all reported incidents occurred in moving vehicles though. In one incident, in 1924, a woman was camping on the moor with her husband when they reported seeing a hand attempting to gain access to her caravan during the night. She reported, "As I looked up to the little window at the end of the caravan, I saw something moving, and as I stared, I saw it was the fingers and palm of a very large hand with many hairs on the joints and back of it, clawing up and up to the top of the window, which was a little open. I think it wished to do harm to my husband, who was sleeping just below. Almost unconsciously, I made the sign of the cross, and I prayed very much that we might be kept safe. The hand eventually slowly sank down out of sight, and I knew the danger was gone. We had stayed in that spot for several weeks and never experienced anything strange until that point, but I did not feel happy in some places not far off, and would never have walked out alone during the night." Could there be a non-paranormal explanation for these events? According to local skeptics, most of the accidents were caused by people who were unfamiliar with the area, driving too fast down narrow country roads, resulting in them either losing control or misjudging the road and running off its edges. What do you think? Is this just a bad stretch of road that naturally causes accidents? Or is there something more sinister going on? Thanks for watching, and drive safe.